And we are back. Welcome back to another episode video on the ONJ platform. I'm your co-host Jeremiah.
I'm your co-host Orlando.
Hope everyone's having a good day, a good night. Uh, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Support the platform. You know, some free ways to support the platform. And tonight, we have the Golden State Warriors against the Minnesota Timberwolves. This game was a makeup from January 24th, which so this was supposed to get played on Saturday, but with all the current events happening in Minnesota, you know definitely hope for safety in that situation to all the citizens and everyone there. But yeah, so the game was moved to today, where the Warriors got the win, 111-85. Just a beatdown. Just overall beatdown. Minnesota, they just couldn't really just get it going. I'm sure you'll talk on some of the aspects you saw, but as we always go, who's your player of the game?
So, my player of the game. So I was debating going a few different directions. This was one of the games where I feel I could have gone so many directions. We could give player to the game to somebody who was carrying the losing team. Um,
The
what
losing team,
happened?
carrying the losing team.
I mean, have we given a player of the game yet to a player who's on the losing
I
team?
tried. Nah, no, 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 no. I tried to do that. I tried to do that. Dang it, who was it? I gotta go back in the videos. I don't know. I tried to do that, and you were giving me some slack on that. So I
I
don't
didn't
know.
give you any slack.
I don't know. It was like I asked that same question. I posed the same question. I was like, can like a player of the game be on the losing squad? You was like, you were a little hesitant. I wouldn't say
No, I
you
was
like
no,
totally said I wouldn't say you totally said
no,
no,
no, no, no. No.
but you were a little
I'm pretty sure
hesitant.
I said I'm pretty sure I said we could have some Jerry West NBA Finals thing where in the first finals Jerry West won player of the game or the NBA
And
Finals.
they
I'm pretty
lost
sure
and
that's
then
what I said.
okay, maybe. But nah, I mean, okay, well who you think about?
If we're talking about like somebody on the losing team who gave it all, I think Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah. I ain't mad at
Like
that.
32 points, 13 of 20. Who knows what where the Timberwolves would be if Anthony Edwards wasn't playing in this game? I mean, he was doing it all on the floor basically. He's like their guy. Not to mention he got 11 rebounds too to go along with those 32 points. So he was on that floor doing multiple things, and I just don't think anybody else on the team besides Dante DiVincenzo actually helped. But I don't think anybody else on that team was putting in the effort that was necessary to be able to win this game. And I think that's why they were down. What did they lose by 20? Imagine if Edwards wasn't there.
Yeah, they lost by 26. Yeah.
26. If Edwards wasn't there, it would be 57.
Nah, he had a great game. I mean, the turnover battle though. I mean, my player of the game. I mean, I wouldn't mind. Um, yeah. I mean, he was the best player on the court, which is tough. It's tough being the best player on the court and then your team ends up losing too. Like that's gotta be tough. But I mean, I think Moses Moody he had a pretty good game. Um,
That was my second option, Moses
yeah, I
Moody. There
mean
you go.
Moses Moody he had a pretty good game. I know he had about yeah that came out strong in the fourth quarter. I mean the first quarter, had like 10 points in the first quarter. And he kind of drizzled out a little bit, but I mean he has some timely shots, when they need him to. But I mean it's hard to go against Ant. I mean after like watching that game, I mean he just put on scoring clinic. Like it seems like almost like you got to think about triple teaming him because I mean there was like moments of the game where he got buckets and he was getting double teamed, like two hands in the face, like two pairs of contests right in front of you, and that means nothing. I'm gonna just hit this fadeaway jumper over both of y'all. You know what I mean? Like doesn't matter. But Yeah, Minnesota. I think they pretty much gave the game away. Essentially, right? 25 turnovers. Yeah, I'm sure ball security is gonna be definitely an emphasis on, you know, whatever film session they're able to have. I think you said they do play them again, right? They play each other again, right?
tomorrow, back to back.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah, so I don't even know when do they even have time? I guess tomorrow, maybe. Well, I mean, do you watch film after tonight? Like, I don't.
They they better watch a lot of film
I
because
mean, maybe a pregame film session. Like, I don't know, because I know they do shoot arounds, and all that. Like, that starts pretty early. So I wonder when would they have time to like squeeze in any adjustments. But yeah, I think turnover. I mean, they just turned the ball over. When you turn the ball over 25 times, I mean, that's usually not the recipe for, a winning. It's usually not a winning recipe. So yeah, I mean, I think the 25 turnovers really hurt them, and I mean, just offensive production too as well, right? Um, Ant-Man, he came to play, right? But you got your second best player, Julius Randle going 3 for 11, right? And then your third. I mean, I don't know, your third scorer that could be up in the air between Jay McDaniels or Nas Reed or DiVincenzo. But I mean, DiVincenzo, he had a good game 22. But McDaniels and Nas Reed, Nas Reed didn't score at all, right? You know what I mean? So it was definitely really Ant-Man and DiVincenzo. They came to play. But yeah, I mean the turnovers and then the lack of offensive firepower from the rest of the team usually isn't a good way to win.
those 25 turnovers. And then like if you have 25 turnovers, it'd be fine if they had 25 turnovers, but then they were causing turnovers on the other end for the other team. The Warriors only had 12 turnovers. So if you're turning the ball over, at least try to get on defense and get that turnover back by going on defense, causing a turnover on them so then you could go back on offense and try to get that point back. None
Yeah, I
of that
think
happened.
What's Podzemski, like for the lefty Brandon Podzemski, whoever Pods, I know they call him Brandon Pods, but like I feel like he had probably like six. I think he had like 6 or 8 points just off of just leak outs. You know what I mean? Like just not getting back on defense, whether it's off of a score or whether it's off just a bad turnover. I think Warriors definitely emphasize not but they definitely utilize the transition game a lot. Especially I think they forced about 23 turnovers. So whatever it is, that was a part of the game plan. I mean, they worked this game for sure. So it'll be interesting to see how they come back tomorrow, just to see like if that same method was able to force another 25 turnovers.
And I don't remember if it was third quarter, fourth quarter, but I know the Warriors went on a run that was like 19-6, something like that. And I remember
Hmm.
in that run, every time the Timberwolves got the ball and they got to the half court, it was an instant turnover. Whatever it was a terrible pass, or the Warriors were putting pressure on them, which led to a steal. They just could not handle the ball properly, and I think that just kept them mounting because by that point they were already down. And I think not being it, the Warriors provided so much pressure to cause them to like consistently turn over the ball in that run. I think that it went from being down 10 to being down 20, and there was no coming back from that one at that point.
Now, do you think their lack of a point guard is kind of shown? Because if you really think about it, right, like Mike Conley is really the only true point guard on their roster, essentially, right? And even like when he was on the court, it didn't seem like they really initiated the offense through him, like, allowed him to bring the ball up and, kind of just orchestrate things like that. And I mean, not to say, I mean, he's kind of always been that guy, but I mean, he's been a solid, I mean, PG and solid, floor general for for years in the league. So for him to be out there on the court essentially as kind of a floor spacer and not really allow him to kind of orchestrate how things are go, I think that kind of hurt them and probably would and did kind of lead to some unnecessary turnovers, not having no real structure and just kind of freestyling. I mean, and a veteran team like the Warriors, I mean, that's probably what, how many championships? Three, four championships. I mean, they've won. You know what I mean? Like they're definitely gonna, take advantage of that easily. Like do they need a point guard? Do they need a point guard in your opinion?
Mm, I definitely think they do need a point guard. I think that's something that they desperately need because if you watch the game, it kind of seems like they've been trying to maneuver in the direction of trying to make Ant the point guard, where they're making Ant be the primary like ball handler, and I get giving the ball to Ant, he's the one that's gonna get you points. But
Mm-hmm.
it comes to the point where I think the offense have moved so much in that direction where now they're kind of being like, Ant will either like score or pass the ball, and then something will happen, and that's not how you could play. I think if Ant could be your number one option, he could have the high usage, he could have the ball in his hand most of the time, but you still need somebody there who could get the offense together and be able to get everybody into a set, into a play, so they could do something, and especially coming off the bench because the bench Edwards is in the starting lineup. Once that man goes to the bench, it's a complete disaster because now you don't have anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have a scorer off your bench, and if you don't have a scorer, at least you could rely on somebody playmaking, but you don't even have that. So at that point, what do you have?
Yeah, I don't know. I think they definitely, especially after today's game, like they definitely need somebody to orchestrate things out there. I mean, you have a lot of talented scorers, right? Like Anthony Edwards, DiVincenzo, um, you know what I mean, Julius Randle. Like that's like three great scorers right there. Jane McDaniels is capable. You know what I mean? So it's like you have some guys on there, but I think they are missing just somebody that a young guard, like a young point guard that could just bring them all together. You know what I mean? And kind of, you know, equalize their talents. And I wish I could think of someone like right now that could kind of fill that role. You know what I mean? Maybe a Trey Jones. You know what I mean? He has been playing great as of late. Um, but I mean it'll be interesting to see like if they like go out searching. I know the trade deadline, you said the trade deadline's coming up, so I know I wonder if that'll be something that they're shopping for.
They should. They
Yeah.
they desperately should. They should sit down and shop for some playmaking and some upgrades to their film studio so they could watch a little
Upgrade
bit
to
more
the
film on how to not turn the
upgrade
ball
to the
over.
film
Because man,
studio.
get a
To the
bigger
film
TV or
studio.
something.
Oh man, but no, I mean the Warriors they played great though. Um, I mean they just took advantage, right? 25 turnovers, you gotta turn those into points, and that's what they did, right? Curry had a great game. 20 led the team in scoring 26 points. 7 assists. I mean he's looking great. How old is he? Maybe about what 30? Yeah, 30,
36,
37.
37.
37 years old, still averaging 27 points a game. Um, that's wild.
And at the first half, he wasn't doing too hot when the game started, but he kind of picked it up. So
Talk about that actually, right? Because and not to say it's a problem. So you have Steph Curry averaging 27 points a game, 37 years old, right?
hmm
37 years old, averaging 26 points a game. I want to say, I don't know if LeBron's still. I mean, LeBron's what, close to 40? I'm sure he's probably averaging over 20
on
a game.
41. Yeah,
Dang, up there. 41, averaging 22 points a game. Like, and I mean, just be honest. Is it because I know like we've talked about in the past, like defense, like what I mean, like defense is questionable, like no defense is played. It seems like, what I mean, it seems like, you know, it's just like, it's just like go score. You know what I mean? Like I know you're talented. Like, just go score. Like, I'm not gonna really try. Like when I like we was watching the game and I was telling you about Ant, like that block on Ant, that that block Ant did on Curry. Like, he came from the help side, came from the weak side, and came over for the block. You know what I mean? He got up there. That was a great defensive play. And I'm like, why can't more stars like if he applied himself on the defensive end like he did on the offensive end, like think about just what that would do for his team. It may not do a lot for him personally, but just for his team, you know what I mean? Like I think that would be a lot because I mean he's already scoring 30, so I mean he's gonna get credit regardless. But you know what I mean? Like just the thought of him actually competing, like giving that same effort on defensive end too. And I know, consumption and what I mean, cardio and all that, that would be a lot, but I mean, we're playing basketball, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like it's two ends of the floor, you know? So like so my question was like those three players, right? LeBron 41, Curry 37, KD 37, averaging, 20 plus points a game. Is it the lack of defense or is it just because think about it, they're 37 plus years old. I mean, LeBron being 41, but they're all 37 plus, 35 and up, still putting up these numbers. Like, is it just them as athletes, or is it just the lack of defense? Like, what, like, what allows them for such prolonged greatness?
Well, I think it's a variety of reasons here.
Oh man, go get into it.
You do have your extreme lack of defense in today's NBA. That's a big factor. But I think three of the players you just named are generational talents
Mm.
that it's very rare to see a player who's this old averaging these points. These are generational talents we're talking about here. A once in a
27
lifetime
points
talent.
a game at 37 years old.
Generational talent.
Yeah.
Generational legacy. Imagine you're a fresh like 21-year-old coming into the NBA. They tell you to guard Curry. That could kind of scare off a few people.
It could.
I think that kind of could contribute also to the lack of defense. More people are a little scared of, like this is my idol, this is the person that I grew up with. He's done such amazing things. I'm a little scared of, doing a little too much on that. I feel like that could be a thing also that happens with a lot of them. Because a lot of these new players that came in are coming in having grown up on these players, watching these players as they grow up, modeling their games after these players. So some of them might be starstruck once they get in the game and they have to guard them.
Star Trek. That's an interesting layer. Okay, Starstruck. So they're kind of that's wild. That is true because the league is getting younger. It gets younger and younger, essentially.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And some of the guys is like entering the league, and they did probably used to watch. The three players mentioned growing up. Mm, that's an interesting take. I didn't think about that.
yeah. That's what I thought sometimes. Sometimes you look at some of these interviews and the way these players talk about like, I grew up watching Curry or I grew up watching LeBron, and it makes you think like, damn, is they're really guarding their idol. I wonder what type of like impact that has on their mindset as they go and
So are
do
you
all of this.
saying they're afraid to guard them? Not afraid. I don't want to say afraid to guard them, but you think while they're guarding them, it's not no, yo, you're not scoring on me. There is a little thought that clicks in like, oh my gosh, this is like I used like he was so nice on 2K. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I mean? Like
yeah,
2K8.
yeah.
Okay.
Think about it. Like it only takes such a for defense. It could take like a millisecond for somebody to go through past you to score. Just that 1 millisecond of you thinking in your head like, oh my god, I grew up watching these players. He just scored a three.
And they know it. They know it.
Like,
They like, I got him. I got him.
yeah, that's all it takes.
I'm sure like LeBron. LeBron probably thought he had Jabari Smith when Jabari Smith was like in the middle of the game was like, "You played against my dad. You played against my dad in your first game or something like that. Your first game was against my dad." I'm sure LeBron was like, "Yeah, I got him." Like,
You know when LeBron does that little like when he's gonna shoot a three, that he takes that pause, he looks at the ball, and then he shoots that three. Yeah, that's a moment right there. You know, when LeBron when the player's looking at LeBron, he sees LeBron taking it easy. That player goes in and said, "Man, I really grew up watching LeBron." LeBron's like, "Ah, got him."
nah, that's real. That's real. I mean that's not something that's really brought up a lot too. I mean, and I mean it shouldn't, and I don't even know if you that's like really a coaching thing. I mean, I guess it's bound to happen, but I mean, I guess that should happen only over one game, though, right? Like that shouldn't be a repeated offense. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's interesting. So it's
Just something to think about.
uh-huh.
Just something to think about. You know.
Yeah. Because I really want to like I really want. I mean, I know they're great, but they're also like there's a lot of miles like on their legs. You know what I mean? From workouts, from practices, like they've been hooping like this since like AAU in high school. You know what I mean? So for them to still have the stamina to like still put up these type of numbers that like the top of the top really put up at their ages, like they're all 35 and up, like it's pretty impressive.
I don't know. Maybe they all spend $2 million a year on their body like LeBron does. I mean, you never know.
Maybe. Nah, but that's cool. Yeah, nah, it's cool to, see them putting up those numbers. And also Steph Curry as well. You know, congrats to him. I think he was able to tie Paul Pierce, 19th all time on the scoring list. So he's making his way up the marks too as well. So I'm sure probably next game, hopefully, he'll be able to, fully take over. I guess would that make him eight? Yeah, he'll fully take over in the 19th spot and then probably drop Paul Pierce down to 20. So yeah, congrats to him as well for, reaching that milestone too.
Yeah, congrats to him. I do want to wrap back around to. I know you said your player of the game was Moses Moody. Um, I think it's important to point out here. They're playing without Jimmy Butler. They're playing without Kuminga. They still won the game. Their highest score was Moses Moody, and I don't think Moses Moody gets talked a lot when it comes to the Warriors because I feel like you can really take Moses Moody and mold him and grow him into such a great Warriors player. And I don't feel like the Warriors have really done that. I don't think they've done justice. I feel like he has a lot of potential, and obviously he showed it today. With 19.7 of 15, 5 of 9 from three, so he can be like the Warriors player. And I just don't understand why sometimes they don't take some of these players and then develop them. Or sometimes when they develop a player, they focus too much on that player and forget everybody else. They focus too much on Jordan Poole. The incident happened, they kind of forgot about him and actually traded him away. I think Potts is another one where he had a good stretch and they were developing him well, and then he just had a stretch where he wasn't good. And I think they focused too much on him and completely forgot about Moody. Obviously, Kaminga doesn't want to play here because sometimes they forget about him too. So I think the Warriors need to look at the young guys and not necessarily focus on one, but really bring them all together and mold them and grow them together, and not just focus on one guy because you never know who you have on that bench who you could develop into a good player. Nobody thought Curry was going to be as good as Curry is right now. Who knows what might be on your bench?
Except his dad. I'm sure his dad probably. Huh. His dad and Seth. No, I agree. Um, yeah, I was gonna say like when I was gonna, but you kind of said it. You pretty much said it. Like I was gonna respond like, who have they developed? Like you know what I mean? Like who has the Warriors developed? And that's concerning. And I wonder if it's, and I mean, it's just a guess, but like, I wonder if it's just a system, right? Like their system of playing. Like you hit the lottery I mean, not one, maybe one of, or if not the greatest shooting backcourt of all time. right? Like you hit the lottery with that, and you ride that wave. You ride that wave until the wheels fall off, literally, or until one of them gets traded to Dallas, right? Like you ride that wave, right? Um, and I'm sure there are some players that could get forgotten in the process, right? Like you may miss out, you may not think about like what you have currently. You know what I mean? Like you may not think about the future. You know what I mean? Because the present seems so secure. You know what I mean with what you have. So I mean, I think that may have been a mistake, and I don't know if that's what happened, but it just looks like, you know what I mean, that may have been the case. 'Cause, I mean, you just named all the young talent, right? Kaminga, Moody, Pods, you know what I mean, I mean, they've got some guys on there. Uh, I mean, even the Will Richard from Florida, like he's a good young player. Like there's some young pieces on there, but they definitely need to get developed. And maybe, I wonder if it's just like the state. I wonder if it's like the system speaks for them, like speaks for them, like just like don't worry. Like I wonder if it's been like a don't worry about developing a player, but more so just worry about how they fit into our system. Not like
Mm.
not like not like worrying about, hey, let's make a development plan for each guy, but hey, like this system has been working for us, right? Like this system of how we play has been working for us. It's on you as a pro to kind of figure out how you can kind of fit our system of playing that's won us 3+ championships, right? So I wonder if like that's the case. And I wonder if, like, you know what I mean? Because, you're a young player, like, fit into how we've been winning instead of trying to, what I mean, try to, I mean, try to find a new way to kind of, implement all the new pieces. And that may be a lazy way, you know what I mean? Because then you don't have to like develop each guy. They could just kind of force their way into the system. But like you said, I mean, it may come back to bite them just because with all the young talent that they have, and I mean, Clay's gone, Curry's getting old, and Draymond's getting old, so there's gonna have to be a next wave to keep it going. You know what I mean? And I don't know if they'll be able to keep it going playing the same way that Clay, Draymond, and Steph played. Like I don't think that's realistic. You know what I mean? Like you said, that was just a generational run. Like that was a great run. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's definitely going to be something to see because who's next up? Like, who on that roster can you say is next up? Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you would love to say Kaminga, but from like the reports you read in the news, like he doesn't seem the happiest there. You know what I mean? Like that whole contract situation was very draining. You know what I mean? To just like see them have to go back and forth, and then now like he goes down with a leg injury, so he's gonna miss some time. So it's like, it's interesting. It's interesting like what the host, because Clay already left, right? So it's like, it's interesting to see like how they plan out the next phase for the franchise.
Yeah, I agree. Lots of questions for the Warriors. Honestly, we named a lot of them that they gotta answer because not you're not gonna draft another generational trio like you did. You can't expect everybody to fit that mold.
You know, no, it's real. Yeah, but great win for the Warriors. Minnesota just take care of that ball, take care of that sphere. And yeah, I think that's it. You got anything else you want to bring up, or anything else you want to
No,
talk about? Well, all
no,
right. Uh, like, comment, subscribe. Like we said earlier, appreciate y'all for tuning into this video. Great game. Well, not great games, blowout, but hopefully tomorrow's game. Hopefully tomorrow's game's a bit better, and adjustments are made. Till then, we'll catch you in the next video. We out.